What is up, guys? I am Mike the Madman Mohammed. If you can't tell, things are a little bit different in Mike Mohammed's house. As you can see, I've gotten a very comfortable, uh, office chair here. I didn't get one of those fucking corny ass gamer chairs because I think they look dumb, but I got a really comfy ass chair. Has a footstool and everything. It's real fucking comfy, guys. And, yeah, that's been my life for the last 2 months. That's been my life for the last 2 guys. I got this wicked chair, guys, and check this out. I got this fucking kick-ass footstool. This shit rocks, man. This thing kicks ass, yo. Anyways, I am Mike the Madman Mohammed, and today I wanted to go over a little bit of my thoughts on this PlayStation 5 reveal and what I thought of it, and also specifically I want to give my thoughts in the context of someone who is primarily a PC gamer. What do I mean by that? I mean my platform of choice is PC. I can show you my PC here. I got multiple monitors. I got my PC running to the TV over there. So I'm running PC games in 4K and surround sound and all kinds of shit. Looking forward to the new line of Ampere GPUs from NVIDIA. And, generally from my perspective, the way I would look at it is I don't think the PlayStation could possibly be good enough to supersede PC as my favorite platform. But what do I mean by that? What I mean is PC as a platform has many things that it offers to the user as a gamer that some other platforms maybe don't. You can play games on PC from 12 years plus ago, and backwards compatibility isn't even a question. You know what I mean? You can just have that modularity of, depending on how much money you're willing to spend, you can build your PC to have the sickest, fastest solid state drive, the best top of the line graphics card. You can have the best processor on the market, the motherboard, your RAM. You can overclock your RAM, overclock your processor, overclock your GPU, set up different cooling solutions, all sorts of things that you can do with a PC that generally gives you as much performance as you're willing to pay for, essentially. And provided you have the know-how to actually modify your PC, or if you just go the route of buying a pre-built or getting someone else to mod your PC for you, you have those options at your fingertips very easily. You don't have to wait for the console manufacturer to come up with the PS5 Pro. You don't have to do any of these things. You can upgrade your PC when you feel like it. You can add a disk drive if you feel like it. You can do whatever the fuck you feel like doing with your PC. So you have that true freedom that comes with the PC Master Race. Now, at the same time, I do realize there are some limitations of PC. For me, the biggest thing that a console manufacturer could do to get me to be interested in buying their console is they would have to really provide the kind of software you just can't get on PC. They would have to provide really top tier console exclusive hardware, or software I should say. And so for me, looking at the PlayStation 5, I'm planning to get the new Ampere GPUs. So the top of the line one is said to be 21 T-flops. That's a lot of T-flops, kids. That's 9 more T-flops than the Xbox Series X. So that's a whole lot of firepower for your graphics. You can get an overclocked i9 that's a lot better than pretty much anything that these console manufacturers will be able to provide. So, there's various reasons why someone will prefer PC over PlayStation. And looking at it, the graphics are not going to be as good, processing power is not going to be as good. The solid state drive, they've been going on about how amazing it is. I'm still unsure about how I feel about that solid state drive, whether or not it's really going to be able to have the kind of performance impact on game design that they seem to be wanting to convince people that it's going to have. And, you know, just in general, a PS5 is not going to be as good as the top tier PC that you could buy. But with me saying that, of course, you could spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to build a very top tier PC. So, you know, people will say right away, a PS5, a PlayStation is going to be so much more affordable for you than a PC. And I agree with you, it is more affordable. From my perspective, the cost is not the biggest issue on planet Earth. Like, if it's under $1,000, I'm good. Let's put it that way. It's not the biggest concern to me. So my perspective as a PC gamer who has the best of high frame rates, the versatility to do whatever I want with my games, mod your games, all that stuff. Just total versatility and control is in your hand as a PC gamer. So for me, what's really going to win me over is games. And I'm happy to say that Sony really did a good job of coming out full throttle with their games. And my perspective was, if Sony could show me like one or two really great looking exclusive games for their platform, for the PS5, then I would be interested in buying their console eventually. Maybe not right away, but eventually I would have an interest in eventually getting the console. So, to my surprise, there was like 5 games that Sony showed that really looked fucking great. And I was really impressed by that. I was really not expecting them to show so many good games in one showing. And in fact, they could have... I'm sure they've got even more coming down the pipes, to be honest, if this is just the beginning. Certain games that they showed, I'm sure, are going to come to other platforms. Like Resident Evil 8, I will get that on PC. But certain games, I don't imagine they're going to come to PC for quite some time. Spider-Man Miles Morales, I've been a huge fan of the Miles Morales universe. I loved Into the Spider-Verse, my favorite Spider-Man movie ever. I think Sony does a way better job of handling the Spider-Man IP than Disney ever does. I'm not a big fan of the way Disney likes to handle that IP. Not the biggest fan of the Tom Holland movies. I really feel like Into the Spider-Verse was like, if you're really gonna ask me personally what my favorite Spider-Man movies are, it's the first 3 Tobey Maguire movies and Into the Spider-Verse. I don't even fuck with Amazing Spider-Man. I don't really fuck with Tom Holland Spider-Man. I fuck with my boy Tobey and Into the Spider-Verse. That's what I fuck with when it comes to the Spider-Man movies. So I've really liked the way Sony has handled the intellectual property of Spider-Man, and it really looks like they're gonna really flesh out the character of Miles Morales. And I'm, as someone who collected the comic books from like 2015 and has read almost every comic with Miles Morales in it, and is a big fan of Brian Michael Bendis, the writer of Miles Morales, for me to see Miles Morales finally, at long last, get like a PS5 launch title, that's pretty fucking sick, man. That was by far for me the biggest thing that got me pumped personally. Like, if they make a version of this console with the Miles Morales black spider suit pattern on the PS5, you already got my fucking pre-order, Sony. I'm already gonna pre-order that shit. Anyways, as for the other games, Horizon Zero Dawn, or I shouldn't even say Horizon Zero Dawn 2, I should say just Horizon 2 Forbidden West. I really enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn. I thought it was a game that, you know, it came about right around the time of Breath of the Wild, and though I like that game too, I just feel like Breath of the Wild got a little bit too much credit. And that's not me saying that I don't like the game. I love the game Breath of the Wild. I thought it was the best Nintendo game in years. It was the best Zelda game ever made. But at the same time, it's just people love Zelda so fucking much that, like, the love for that game overshadowed anything that Horizon really achieved. And now it was pretty disappointing to me in that sense, because I thought Horizon wasn't a perfect game, but it was pretty great for what it was. The combat was pretty fun, the dinos, the world was pretty great. The lore in that game was very interesting and unique. It was one of the most unique video games I'd played in years. It was the most unique IP, and I was very excited to see where this franchise would go forward. I felt a little bit sad at the end of beating Horizon Zero Dawn because I was like, man, I'm going to have to wait a while to see where the story goes. Well, the wait is hopefully going to be over in the year 2021. So yeah, it's Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and also, man, the graphics, the cinematic presentation, like some of those shots of like the dilapidated San Francisco, just look so friggin' cool, man. Like they just look awesome. I was really excited to see that they were able to bring that kind of graphical fidelity to Horizon. I do hope with these PS5 games though that they offer you some different modes in terms of how you want to play the game. If you want to play a more resolution focused style where it's like 30 FPS but you get really good resolution, or say a style where it is more performance based, where they would lower the resolution and textures and all that, give you 60 FPS, possibly even 120 FPS, since we're now on the PS5, since we're now using HDMI 2.1, you know, possibilities have really opened up in terms of how these game developers could offer the player versatility in terms of how they want to play that game. So I really do hope that PlayStation emphasizes that in their new games, especially the first party games, because those are probably going to be the main ones I'm chiefly interested in. PC has offered players the ability to modify their settings for the game to be able to play it at a higher frame rate or a higher resolution depending on what you as a player want for years upon years. So I think it's about time that these consoles got on board with that. Just sinking into my goddamn chair here. Anyways, another game that really got me excited was Gran Turismo 7. Gran Turismo 7 is looking fucking nice. Gran Turismo 7 is looking friggin' nice, man. GT7 is like, yeah, they have, the graphical output is looking absolutely fantastic in GT7, and like, man, like, I really strongly hope that there's some backwards compatibility for some of the steering wheels. I got here a little something I can show you guys. I'm not going to take it out of the box, it'll take too fucking long, but here's a little something y'all can check out. So I got this thing as like a free gift. It's like it's a T80 Ferrari 488 GTB edition of a Thrustmaster one. It's one of the bungee cord ones. It's not one of those fancy force feedback ones, but you know, it would be really goddamn cool if I could play Gran Turismo 7 using that steering wheel. That would be pretty damn great. But knowing Sony, you know, they really like to nickel and Jew you, so you know you gotta watch out for that shit. They'll be like, "Oh, guys, we got a brand new PS5 steering wheel. Why don't you just spend $300 on that instead?" All right, Sony, you fucking bastards. Anyways, the other game that got me really pumped was this remake of Demon's Souls that looks fucking awesome, man. Like, yeah, the graphical fidelity has truly been turned up to a 10 on this one. Like, man, I was impressed by that friggin' game. Like, I was like, because I got into the whole FromSoft thing with Dark Souls during like the late PS3 era, I think, and you know, that was my first foray into FromSoft games. And I like Dark Souls, I like Bloodborne, I like Sekiro, and you know, but I keep hearing from those old school FromSoft guys, "Oh, but Demon's Souls was so much better. It was the best game Miyazaki ever made." Alright, well now I get to fucking see if it's really the best game Miyazaki ever made, or it's just overzealous fans again. I don't personally care. The game looks fucking cool. Game looks fucking cool. I'll give it a shot. End of story. You know? And the other game that really impressed me that I kind of want to talk about as well is the Ratchet and Clank game. The Ratchet and Clank game, I was quite impressed by the fact that this may have been the first demonstration of what they're really able to do with those solid state drives. Because in that game, it really looked like the worlds were being loaded It was like in the portals, you could see like an entirely different world being very rapidly loaded in, and it was so seamless. It was almost like a Hollywood film rather than a real-time rendered video game. So that was quite technically impressive, I think. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to see more uses of that solid state drive that, Mark Cerny can just, it's the greatest solid state drive ever, guys. The read and write speeds are simultaneous. They're so fast. All right, Cerny, whatever you say, man. Let's just see how this shit pans out in the final games and shit. Anyways, yeah. So from my perspective, you have there like 5 games that I could look at and be like, okay, Demon Souls, Spider-Man, Horizon 2, GT7, Ratchet and Clank. 5 games right there that I thought looked pretty good, that I thought looked pretty impressive, And I was like, well, I don't really see these 5 games coming particularly soon to the PC Master Race, so I'm not going to be running those games on a RTX 3080 Ti anytime soon, so I may as well get a PS5 if I want to play these games within the next couple years, you know what I mean? So for me, I think I will end up getting a PS5 roughly around launch time. I'm going to see if they make a special edition Miles Morales version. I would love that. And one last thing I want to talk about. The guys who know my fucking channel knew this was coming. So they made 2 versions of the PS5. They made one version that's a digital version and one version that's a disc version. And I'm just going to say this right now. I'm only going to get the digital version. I don't fucking care. My guys, I'd like to show you something here. I'd like to show you this newfangled invention. It's called a calendar. It's actually a Rick and Morty calendar, if you can see. But if you can look at the date here, it is June 2020. Holy shit, bro. What are you doing with a disk drive in the year 2020? Good God, man. Is this your grandpa's computer? What the fuck, dude? Like, for those of you who don't know, when it comes to, like, PC building for the PC Master Race, it's like, bro, nobody's using it. No, basically, literally no one is using a disk drive. Every game that you buy on PC is digital by default. Steam is 100% digital. Epic Game Store is 100% digital. Uplay 100% digital. Origin 100% digital, basically. As far as I know, like, are there physical PC games? I don't even know, man. Like, I don't even know if they make that anymore. I don't know if they make physical disc games for PC anymore. Even if you get, like, a collector's physical edition, it might just come with a fucking Steam code, man. Like, I really don't know. Like, and so for me as a PC gamer, looking at these console guys, like, bro, these guys fight like fucking, I don't even know, man. These guys fight like Americans fight over the American flag. You have to have a fucking disk drive. You cannot kneel for the disk drive. You must stand for the physical games. And it's just like, I'm just sitting here like, nigga, it's 2020. Who cares, bro? Bro, you guys are... Can I just ask a real question to you guys? Do you guys who are out here with the physical version, who are hell bent on getting a disc drive in your PlayStation 5, can I just please ask you guys? Do you guys use disc drives for anything else in your day-to-day life? Like, do you guys use it for anything else? Do you guys understand how a disc drive works? And I don't want to get too into it, but, like, honestly, the way I see it, a disc drive is a fucking authentication key for the game. Literally every fucking game these days comes with, like, a 30, 40 gigabyte day one patch. Modern Warfare, when you install all the fuck, man, this game's like 200 gigs now, man. This game's fucking enormous, man. You want, like, to deal with fucking 4 Blu-ray discs just to play Call of Duty? Meanwhile, the guy who preloads the fucking game on their PC or the PlayStation or whatever, they're playing the game at fucking midnight. They're getting that double XP bonus, baby. You're still here fiddling with discs and drives like it's fucking... like it's 2002 out here. I'm sorry, guys, who are into this physically. I just don't get it. I just don't care. I love digital games. I've been using digital games since like 2014. I slowly stopped ever buying physical games. I like sold every physical game I had because I didn't even want to see a physical game anymore. I was like, bro, My Nintendo Switch is halal, it's still a virgin. So is my PlayStation. Well, it's had a few discs in there back when Jeff Bezos was tempting me with that pre-order bonus from Amazon, but not these days. So I think the digital version of the PS5 looks way better. I imagine it'll be cheaper. I hope it will have more hard drive space. That's probably not going to happen, but I would love for that to happen. From my perspective, man, yeah, I would really like the PS5 digital edition to have like at least 2 terabytes of hard drive space. That would be nice. That would be nice. That would at least give you something to work with. If you only have 1 TB, even if it's the best fucking SSD on earth, shit, man, I don't even know if I want to. Like, guys, if I'm going to be dead honest with you, if you would give me the digital edition of the PS5 with a 2 terabyte SSD drive, I would be so much more willing to spend like $100 more on that digital version than to fucking get like the disc drive version. I do not get what the fuck people are doing out here in 2020 with discs, man. I don't get it, especially as a PC gamer. And I've seen other people who identify as PC gamers defending the physical disc thing, and they say they're glad for the physical disc thing. I'm like, okay, but like, I don't really fucking get it. I don't really fucking see the point of it. I don't really fucking get it. I'm literally much happier just, like, where do you guys live, man? Like, I'm much happier just deleting my games and reinstalling them if I really run out of disk drive space. Like, I'm totally cool with doing that. Bro, it's 2020. Like, what cities are you guys living in? Like, what countries are you guys living in where you guys can't download, like, 50 gigabytes in a matter of a couple hours, man? Like, for me, I got friends who got, like, internet. They could download 100 gigabytes in, like, an hour. 2 hours, they could fucking install Call of Duty Modern Warfare with all the patches and shit. Because they got, like, fucking great first world internet. Like, that's the thing that's hard for me to get. Is, like, I'm living in here in Canada. We got pretty decent internet in Canada. I've heard there's, like, better internet in, like, Scandinavia and America and Korea and all these places. You know, like, it's first world internet, guys. I think you can download your games relatively fucking quickly, especially if you preload your games. I just find it so much easier to deal with. I just really don't get people who deal with physical games. I'm not getting the physical edition of the PS5 unless it's the Miles Morales version, and that's the only way you can get it, then maybe. Honestly, I would turn my back on the Miles Morales version just if you give me, 2 terabytes. Oh, excuse me, my nose is all stuffed. If you can give me 2 terabytes in the digital version of PS5, I would much rather those 2 terabytes. Those 2 terabytes are going to be so fucking useful in a way that, like, a disk drive is never, ever going to be fucking useful. I don't understand the obsession. I just truly don't understand the love of these disk drives in modern day consoles. I just don't get it at all. I just don't. So for me as a PC gamer, all my PC games are digital. I love having all my games digital. I'm fine with uninstalling and reinstalling games. You have to do that with a fucking disc anyways. So, like, I don't know, man. I got friends who are also PC gamers and they don't get the disc thing either. Like, they're like, bro, what year is it? Guys, I got a fucking Blu-ray movie collection. Let me show you this so you guys know I'm not fucking joking when I say I really don't fucking care about the disc drive. Let me show you this shit. You see this, guys? This is something probably many of you have never seen in your fucking lives. This is a Blu-ray movie collection. Have you ever seen that shit? It's a fucking look at this shit. I got like every James Bond movie here. I got like The Godfather. I got American Psycho, Inception, Kill Bill, Akira. I got all kinds of shit here, man. I like my movies. But all those Blu-rays you just saw there, man, I was collecting them like earlier in the fucking 2010s decade when Blu-ray was still sort of, not really, but sort of relevant. And I was a movie guy. I wanted my surround sound and all that shit. Well, here's the thing, guys. As time went on and people's ability to rip these movies got better, every single one of those fucking movies I could download. In fact, most of them I fucking do have downloaded on a hard drive, connected to a smart TV that plays it in 4K in better fucking quality than I could fucking play it from the physical discs I have right there. Those physical discs I have right there are fucking useless. I'll sell them all for like $2 each. They're nothing to me. They're worthless to me. They have no fucking value at all to me. I'll fucking sell them at a garage sale, make like $20, man. Like, what are you guys doing out here in 2020 with discs, bro? I just don't get it. I just don't. It just doesn't matter to me. It's the game's gonna fucking load faster digitally. You're not gonna have to switch the. I don't get the disc thing. I just don't. I could literally sit here for 20 hours telling you I don't get the disc thing, but I think you guys get it by now. Anyways, that's my perspective. The PS5 has some great games. The hardware looks good. It looks decent. I think the console itself will cost like close to 700 American, or at least 600 American. And I imagine it'll be like $700-800 in Canada. You know, us Canadians are gonna get butt fucked as usual. And honestly, that's to be expected because like that's what this fucking console is, man. It has decent hardware. It has to be priced at a certain point. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the PlayStation 5. I'm Mike Mohammed. Thank you for watching.